Well, hello there, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. And gosh, today was kind of the complete opposite weather-wise as yesterday. Yesterday we saw a lot of wind, a lot of clouds, a lot of rain. Today, nice, calm, and sunny. So, Trevor, I prefer today's weather over yesterday's. So can we have more of weather like this the rest of the week? You can like pull some strings, right?
I can. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, us just a reminder, us meteorologists do actually control the weather.
Yeah.
No, we do have some rain for a couple of different days on the tail end of this week. We have another round of rain on Thursday, but tomorrow, at least for the start of the day, should look a lot like today. Lots of sunshine. So if you like today, which I agree with you, I like today because. Not only was it sunny, but it was also just cooler, and those who know me know that I like the cooler temperatures. That's the reason why I'm up here. So I like today. The first half of tomorrow will be a lot like that, and then we'll see increasing clouds before our next round of rain on Thursday. So I'll talk about that, and of course, everybody, a lot of our firearm veterans want to know what Friday is going to look like for open firearm deer season. So I'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
All right. Sounds good, Trevor. Thanks so much. Let's start off with our top story of the day. It's an update to a story we have been following for a few months now. So last week on Election Day, voters decided to not re-elect Brad Jewett. And today, the Grand Traverse County Commissioner pled guilty to paying someone for sex. So Brad Jewett was arrested back in June as part of an undercover sting operation. And his case was sent to the Attorney General's office just to avoid any conflict of interest since he is a county commissioner in Grand Traverse County. And today he appeared virtually in front of a Crawford County judge. And as part of a plea deal, he pled guilty to the charge of engaging the services of a prostitute. Let's take a listen to what he said today in court.
As to count one, prostitution engaging services of, how do you plead? Guilty. On or about June 20th of this year, did you engage or offer to engage the services of another who was not your spouse for the purposes of prostitution? Yes. Did you do that in Grand Traverse County? Yes. And what did you do in that context?
I seen an online ad and reached out to it and offered to meet up with somebody in exchange for oral sex.
Did you offer to exchange money for that sex?
Yes.
And according to court documents, Brad Jewett did not offer money to a minor or someone underage for sex. And the charge of using a computer to commit a crime will be dropped at sentencing. However, a sentencing date has not yet been determined. We will keep you updated once he does get sentenced. And we have an update to a story we first shared with you yesterday. So there was a crash that closed a post office in Kalkaska County. So a vehicle rammed into the South Boardman Township post office. And as you can see based on these videos, it left a huge hole in the building. It also forced fire crews to turn off the power and the gas in the building. Luckily, no one was inside the building because it was Veterans Day, so the post office was closed. But due to the damage of the facility, customers can pick up their mail at the Kalkaska post office. That is at 105 West 3rd Street, and you do need a valid ID to pick up your mail. And we know that the driver was taken to the hospital, but their condition, I should say, is not known at this time. So once we learn more about that, we will continue to keep you updated on that story. So here we are in the middle of November, and although Thanksgiving is a little late this year, maybe some folks are thinking about their Thanksgiving meal already, but I'm sure most people are kind of going to wait maybe a little longer to think about that. But there's one man in Grand Traverse County that, oh boy, he's been thinking about it, that's for sure. Joel Beckham. He doesn't just feed his family on Thanksgiving, but he feeds hundreds of people that show up for this community meal in Traverse City. And it takes a lot of work to put on this meal, and he's been doing it for the past couple of years. And every year he reaches out to the community asking for some help to make sure this community meal goes smoothly and there's enough food for everyone who shows up. So Mark Shillette has that full story.
It's the best Thanksgiving I could ever ask for. And I step on this lot and I feel that joy, and then it's just amazing. That's all I can really say.
There isn't much happening right now at the empty lot at the corner of Randolph and Division, but come Thanksgiving Day, that'll change.
You know, what's funny is every year we've got 600 to 900 pounds of meat. And it starts off slow, and I'm like, oh no, we got way too much stuff, no one's showing up. But it gets pretty busy.
3 years ago, Joel Beckham had an idea of using this lot to have a community Thanksgiving dinner.
In reality, it started out with me sitting at home going, whose Thanksgiving do I go to? I don't want to go to anybody's. It's just too much drama. And I'm like, I should throw my own. But then I was like, you know what? I should do it for people that don't have anywhere to go.
Over the years, the all are welcome approach has provided thousands of people with a hot meal and a healthy dose of community.
It's grown into something not that I thought it was, which was feed people. Just feed anybody that didn't have a place to go like me. And it's turned into this really amazing, fun time.
It's a community event that takes a community to pull off. Joel provides all the ingredients. All he asks from his volunteers is a little time and their ovens.
Show up here on Wednesday between 3 and 6 and just take a whole tray with whatever ingredients I want to make, 1 or 2 dishes, a turkey or a ham, cook it and just drop it back off Thursday morning to go into the warmer, and that's what we need the most.
With the crowd growing every year, those volunteer cooks are critical. But as the event has grown, so has the need for folks who don't want to cook at all but can help nonetheless.
Businesses, Max Bowers has donated a couple years. Steve Barron has donated the tents. There's been a number of companies, Traverse Roots Renovation. So yes, a company, more power. We'd love to let you help with everything and anything, including our own. So businesses can pay for it, the community can help do it, and we just serve.
Joel does all of this while running his roofing company and his DVE Ministries, which has projects around the country and the world. It's all about seeing a need and stepping up to fill it.
But it feels amazing. And then you think about next year, how can we do it better? What can we do for Christmas? We'd love to do something for Christmas, but there's a little more logistics to that with snow.
And Mark is joining us live now from his car with more on this story. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, you think about when we were doing the show months ago and it was broad daylight and we could go live from parking
Anywhere.
lots.
Yep.
It's dark now.
Yeah, things have changed.
It's nighttime. Yeah.
All right, Mark, so we know that this is the third year now.
Yep.
And this is a story that you have covered every single year. So let's go back to that first year when Joel decided to host this event. I thought it was pretty funny that he said, I just didn't know whose Thanksgiving to go to because I wanted to avoid any drama. So I figured I would start my own and just invite everyone. I'm sure at that point, he really probably didn't have any expectations of how many people would actually show up.
I don't think so. I think Joel was like, Joel's a very giving person. And he thinks about others all the time. And he wants to include everyone in it. It goes to his ministries. It goes to his business. It goes to his philosophy and way of life. But yeah, I mean, you think about, he didn't have really anyone to celebrate Thanksgiving with that he was excited to. So he's like, you know what? Let's just see if there's other people like me out there. And that first year, I mean, can you imagine? You know what it's like to invite people over for dinner, not really knowing how much do I cook? Is everyone going to show up?
Right.
Right. And suddenly you're like, what if everyone shows up? And so they do 600 to 900 pounds of meat. And you imagine year one being like, gosh, am I going to be eating turkey and ham leftovers for months until next Thanksgiving, right? And they served everyone that came, and there were a lot of people that showed up that first year, and it was cold and snowy that first year. And then they made sure that anything that was left over, which there wasn't a lot, but anything that was left over went to people that really wouldn't have a meal that day. So they took care of people that were experiencing homelessness, shelters, things like that. They made sure that the food didn't go to waste. Last year, it continued to grow, even more and more people, and they're expecting the same this year, because not only is it one of those things where everybody's welcome, and if you don't have anybody else to share a meal with that day, you can come, but it's actually become an awesome, fun experience. People are like, well, hey, I have other people that I can go to, but I'd rather go to Joel's because it is a good time. They bring in a DJ, it's a party, it's fun. You get to see people that, from around town. You get to go and do this. And it's just a day to be social, to truly give thanks, and to not be home alone if that's your only other option.
And do you know how many people have showed up the past couple of years?
I asked him, I was like, how much? And he's like, well, 600 to 900 pounds worth of meat. That's how many people.
That's how he measures it.
They don't really keep track. But, at the end of the day, when they're cleaning up, people that come late in the day can get a to-go box. So if you serve, how many people, I don't think they have any way of knowing, but it is popular. And every morning when he wakes up that morning, I said, how good does it feel at night when you get home that night and your head hits the pillow and you know that you've done something.
Yeah.
And he's like, honestly, the best feeling that day is in the morning when you're gearing up for it and you kind of can appreciate a little bit of what you've done and all the effort and all the people that the volunteers are bringing back the stuff that they've cooked and people start showing up. He goes, that's a great feeling. He goes, the evening is a good feeling, but he also has to clean up. So you're right. And that's true for whether you're cooking for 500 or cooking for 5, when the dishes roll around,
It's a lot to do.
Leaves a little of the luster off of it. But Joel, this is I think it's a cool project. When he first pitched it 3 years ago and we did a story with him, I was like, he may be a little crazy, but I love his crazy, right?
Yeah.
And he still may be a little crazy, but you just got to love what he is doing and what he is offering to the community.
But we know he can't do it on his own. And today he was telling you that he does need some help and volunteers. So he said that people can show up on that Wednesday before Thanksgiving to pick up a tray.
Yeah, he buys all the ingredients. So literally all you have to do is you show up, he gives you the ingredients, you go home, he gives you the recipe. So here's what you do. You use your oven and you bring it back the next morning. They add it to the warmers and they get going. And so that's all they do. So if you feel like you want to help out Joel in this effort, or you want to take part that day, you can, somebody just turned their lights on in the parking lot. So you can show up that day, that Wednesday. I think he said 3 to 6. I did double check. We've got to post it on the website. But he gives you the tray. You go home, use your oven, you do the cooking, and then you bring it back the next day. So that's if you want to be a volunteer. If you're a business in town and you want to help with this, and there have been a lot of businesses that have donated pies, donated tents, donated meat, stuff like that. If you're a business and you want to help out, get in touch with Joel beforehand, because he can point you in the direction of, we'd really love somebody to sponsor rolls or stuffing or something like that. And they can do that. But yeah, it has been wildly successful. The numbers are huge. And this is a lot for Joel to count on a group of Army volunteers to have happen. So it's time to step up if you want to. This is the time to get in touch with Joel, and we have all that information on our website, UpNorthLive.com.
And the cool thing about helping with this community meal is maybe people have a family of their own that they need to cook for, so they're thinking, oh shoot, I can't volunteer because I have to do my own cooking. Well, you can come the day before, pick up your tray, just cook that one dish, drop it off, and then you can go back to your family.
That is, yes, you're absolutely right, Maya. Plus, if you have a family that's full of drama right now, do the cooking and then bring them to Joel's party. You got plenty of room. It's not, nobody's fighting over who gets to sit at the couch or who gets to sit at this table. They have the Lions game on there at the, so if you need a little diffuser, a little, distance with your family, do the cooking, bring it to Joel's, and everybody enjoy their afternoon with Joel and the rest of Traverse City that came to get a good meal. And
again, just to reiterate this is, anyone is invited. Literally anyone can go to this meal.
This is, if you wouldn't have another meal, you're more than welcome to come. If you would be eating alone, if you wouldn't have any company, come, enjoy it. Everybody is welcome to come and have a meal and socialize, and for whatever reason brings you there, you are welcome there.
All right, Mark, thank you so much for joining us and for talking a little more about Joel's amazing mission to make sure everyone in the Traverse City community not only has a meal on Thanksgiving, but isn't alone. And as Mark mentioned, we do have more information on our website, UpNorthLive.com, if you would like to volunteer. And we have our question of the day next, which is related to this story. Have you ever volunteered your time on Thanksgiving or Christmas? You can scan your QR code on the screen right now. That'll take you to our website where you can vote. We do have a couple of comments on our Facebook page. Barney says, yes, helping with cleaning at our local animal shelter. Animals still have to be cared for during the holidays, and no one should have to do it alone. We make a celebration of it at Christmas, and after the cleaning, etc., each animal gets a treat or toy, and then we sit down to do a Christmas breakfast afterwards. Look forward to it every year. Daddy says, since I have no family, volunteering is a great way to be with people. So again, if you haven't voted yet, you can scan the QR code or go to our website, UpNorthLive.com. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a few minutes with much more on the rest of the forecast for the week ahead. Next.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you got a few minutes to get outside and soak in some sunshine after a very cloudy day yesterday. But, you know, it's that time of the year. We're in the middle of November, and it's actually starting to feel like it should this time of year. It's getting chilly out there right about now. So, Trevor, how cold will it get in our overnight hours tonight?
Oh, it'll get pretty cool. It's a lot cooler than last night, that's for sure. We'll go back to the 20s where we should be for most areas and lower 30s. It should be freezing for almost everybody tonight.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, it felt a lot more like fall today. It starts to look a lot more like fall going into the future, too. We're not going to be so far above average like we've been, especially for September and October. And it seems like we've been so warm. We're going to finally start to inevitably go the other direction. It's like, you know, weather patterns and seasons happen. So it's like no matter how warm we are, eventually it's going to get cold whether you like it or not. And that's starting to happen. We'll start with our drone outside today. This is the drone that we got out today. The drone crew got out to Old Mission Peninsula, Grand Traverse County. And obviously the biggest thing today was just how much quieter it was compared to the past couple of days. We had some rain, and obviously it being especially windy yesterday. It was very nice to all of a sudden see a lot of sunshine today. And we're going to see that at least to start tomorrow. So there's the look outside. It'll stay clear all night. High pressure building in, or has built in and is still in the Midwest, but way off to the far west over to the Rockies is our next building system. That's going to head our way over the next 24 hours. So here's what it looks like. We'll hold on to our southeast wind all night and for a good majority of tomorrow. To start our day early in the morning around 7 o'clock, you should still see a lot of sunshine, and it should stay that way for a good part of the greater morning, pretty much all day. Until the afternoon, we'll start to see some increasing clouds. So that'll be the main story tomorrow, some increasing clouds and some wind picking up out of the southeast in the afternoon. It won't immediately become overcast or anything like that. Most of these clouds are going to be very up high cirrus clouds and building deck clouds. And so the overcast won't actually happen until well past sunset. And then very late tomorrow night going into Thursday morning, we'll get some more rain in store. So our low pressure will pass downstate. As you can see there, the swirling winds, that'll pass downstate, and we'll get some showers in. For a good majority of Thursday, again, I don't think super widespread rain. I also don't think heavy rain. Most of that is very light rain. We're looking at probably no more than a quarter for most areas in terms of accumulation. And then Friday, for the start of our firearm deer season, we should clear out some clouds later into the day, but stay mostly dry. Forecast peak winds, as I mentioned, it will be gusty again tomorrow. Not anywhere near as bad as yesterday, but they will pick up and be a little gusty, around 25 or maybe even a little bit more miles per hour out of the southeast tomorrow. And there's a look at our Friday for firearm deer season. Again, it should clear out cloud-wise. It might be a little damp on the ground because it had rained the day prior, but it should still be a good day, all things considered. Tonight, 21 to 35, mostly clear, cooler temps inland, and then tomorrow, a little bit warmer than today, and with some increasing clouds. We'll start off with a lot of sunshine and then add clouds more and more throughout the day until we get rain very late tomorrow night into Thursday. After that, dry weather on Friday and Saturday before another round of rain on Sunday.
All right, thanks, Trevor. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but we will check in with our sports director, Harrison Beebe, in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. When I asked our sports director, Harrison Beebe, what his plans were for this show earlier, he said he's going to be joining us live from a secret location. So, Harrison, where is this secret location? We're dying to know.
Maya, we're down to that time of year where we're down to a select few sports. So I'm back on the volleyball surface.
Should have guessed.
I'm in Boyne Falls. We're between sets right now. Mayo and Travis City Christian are facing Division 4 regional semifinals. So we're getting pretty deep into the postseason. State finals aren't until next week, so still several more matches that need to be won. But these are the teams that both won district titles. So now they're really putting it out there to go for a regional championship. Regional champions will be found on Thursday, but tonight a bunch of area teams are involved in the semifinals. I was just at Traverse City St. Francis's against Inland Lakes. Labs are looking pretty good there. They did make the state finals in Division 3 a year ago, so no shock. Traverse City Kitchen, I caught their district game last week.
Sorry, Harrison, I can't really hear you with all the cheering in the background.
The fans are
They're
very
fanning.
loud and boisterous. Yes, they're making noises, but hey, that's what we want in sports, right? Enough of this soft-spokenness. Let's really yell like we're calling a sporting event.
There you
Let's
go.
bring in the third set, and then the other half of this region, Maya, involves Bel-Air and Buckley. They're set to start at 8 o'clock. So we got those highlights coming up at 11, along with our friends from the UP are getting us St. Ignace and Rudyard's Division 4 regional semifinal as well. So we'll have a quadruple header of volleyball highlights and a big one for Michigan State. I haven't checked the score yet, but I know they're facing Kansas, #1 Kansas in the Champions Classic as we speak.
Hold on, I'm on it. 8-8.
Oh, nail biter.
It's a close one.
What could happen in the remaining 30 minutes of that game? Who knows?
All right, Harrison, we'll go get back to your volleyball game. We look forward to seeing all these highlights tonight at 11, but that'll do it for sports for now. Sorry that it was so loud in there. Hopefully you were still able to hear everything that Harrison had to say. If not, don't worry. Again, he'll have a recap of everything tonight on Up North Live News at 11, so we hope to see you then. But let's take another quick break. We're going to check back in with our question of the day and the live results coming up next.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Well, let's take one last look at our question of the day. Have you ever volunteered your time on Thanksgiving or Christmas? As of right now, 55% of voters say yes, 45% say no. And if you haven't ever volunteered your time on Thanksgiving because, maybe you have your own family that you need to cook for or you have your own plans, well, there is an opportunity for you to volunteer ahead of time. So in case you missed the beginning of our show, Mark Schlett did a story on a community meal in Traverse City on Thanksgiving. They're asking for volunteers on Wednesday to come pick up a tray, cook it, and bring it back Thursday morning. So we have more information on that on our website, UpNorthLive.com. That's all the time we have for Unscripted. We hope to see you back here at 11 o'clock.